Now let's talk about forcing a gain of material. The simplest way to gain material on a chessboard is to capture an undefended piece. When beginners start playing and are still getting used to the moves of the pieces, most games are decided simply by overlooking that pieces are attacked or by carelessly putting them on squares where they can be captured by their opponent. Once you have overcome that phase of familiarity with the pieces, those mistakes become rare. I would like to say that they disappear, but experience tells us that it's not so. The next stage in your chess development is in the familiarization process to understand the range of simple tactical ideas which can lead to the gain of material in somewhat more sophisticated fashion. What follows is a small arms catalog for the chessboard warrior. There are really only two distinct ways of forcing the gain of material: attacking two pieces at the same time, or attacking one piece which for one reason or another cannot move away. Each of these objectives may be achieved in a number of different ways, the most common of which will be illustrated here. All the ideas involved will be seen strongly dependent upon the geometry of the chessboard and the lines of action of the pieces. In each of the examples that follow, try to improve your skills of visualizing the result of a series of moves. Try to play through the moves if necessary, but always return to the original position and attempt to replay the moves over your head until you're capable of clear visualization of the variation under consideration. This ability is bound to come gradually, and it's essential for your chess fluency. In this first example of calculation, involves working out the result of a series of exchanges. It's white to move. Here it will be necessary to remember as the variation proceeds that pieces are disappearing from the board. There is no easy way to learn to keep track of such calculations, except by continual practice and increasing experience of the chessboard. White to play calculates that he could win the pawn on d5. He therefore plays bishop takes d5. Black continues with knight takes d5. White plays rook takes d5. And after rook takes d5, queen takes d5. Queen takes d5. Rook takes d5. White has emerged up an extra pawn. White's queen and bishop on the original form in effect two attacks on the pawn, as do his two rooks on the file. Let's go back to that position. Notice that here white has 4 attackers and black has 3 defenders. This simple calculation could assist us in understanding or evaluating the gain of material. But take notice that that is not all to grasp whether or not the exchange is good for us. Take notice that the order in which you exchange pieces is also important. For instance, in this position, if you were to capture the pawn with the rook, then black will win the exchange by simply capturing with his knight. Notice that after rook takes, bishop takes, black has a rook for a bishop, and what white has is a pawn for that exchange. In this position, black will be materially ahead. Try to gradually go over this example a couple of times until you're capable of visualizing the exchange of pieces in your head. Notice and remember that the pieces that you use in the order to exchange is very important, as previously stated. We could give you another example as to why it's important. For instance, if white were to capture the pawn with the bishop, and now black were to capture with the queen, black will be at a significant loss of material after rook takes queen, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, knight takes rook, and queen takes knight, because now white will be up a queen. Once again, practice the visualization of exchanges in this example, and pretty soon you'll be able to calculate several moves in advance.